Welcome to the Rebound Las Vegas, our ongoing series designed to get you back to work and back in business. I'm Trisha Keene. We'll spend the next 30 minutes showcasing hot jobs, talking about ways to keep your family safe, and we'll also look at ways to manage that stress so many are feeling. Here are this week's stories. It's day 2 of World of Concrete, the first major trade show to return in person to Las Vegas. And tonight, we're seeing how these shows stimulate the economy in so many ways. And anchor Ross DiMattei is live now. Ross, the convention comeback is boosting nearby businesses as well.
That is exactly right, Tricia. By my count, there are at least 24 businesses located right around the Las Vegas Convention Center. And I talked with 2 of them who tell me that shows like World of Concrete are a big reason why business is back. After 15 months, it feels like it's been forever since we've experienced the sights and sounds of a bustling breakfast shop.
Vegas has had a need for a while for a place like this. This is true, authentic Jewish delicatessen food.
Siegel's Bagel Mania has been in business in Las Vegas since 1989, but this location is brand new. Only open for 2 weeks, and business is already booming.
The who's who of Vegas has been coming every single day. Tourists from the Strip. Obviously, this week, convention goers from the World of Concrete have been coming, and it's been great. Business is awesome.
A big reason, the return of conventions like World of Concrete. So far, Crandall says tourists account for about half of his business.
World of Concrete coming back to Las Vegas is a signal of Vegas is back, baby. And it's not 50% back, it's not 80% back. We're 100% open, no restrictions.
With an estimated 60,000 conventioneers in town just this week, other businesses are benefiting too. At nearby Golden Steer Steakhouse, a longtime favorite for convention guests, business is all the way back.
We've been able to combine both the locals and the conventioneers, especially this month, and it's wild to see the dining room completely filled. I don't think we expected it to be this fast. It feels a little bit like a switch just turned on one day and all of a sudden we were back to pre-pandemic levels.
During the pandemic, Signorelli says locals kept them alive, but conventioneers and trade show attendees are who helps them thrive.
The reality is when conventioneers come in, they bring big groups, and for any restaurant, it's really important to get as many people as you can in a table, have that group of people who are there. Everybody tends to be wanting to celebrate a little bit more, which always means that they're an even better customer when they're coming in. And it's really great to have the conventioneers because they also bring a lot of energy and a lot of interest. And then you have a conventioneer who comes in and the next thing you know, they go back home and they say, hey, there was this really great Vegas restaurant we went to. So it's automatically a referral system that gets built into it as well.
Now, the one struggle I heard from both of these restaurants is the ongoing worker shortage. This is something they've been dealing with. They just can't hire enough workers right now to keep up with that rising demand, but still, they are just happy that business is back. We're live off the Las Vegas Strip tonight. Ross DiMattei, 13 Action News.
The boost in business means federal authorities are trying to attract more TSA agents to work at McCarran. The agency is even offering a $1,000 bonus if you sign on. 13 Investigates reporter Joe Bartels is live at baggage claim. And Joe, parts of the airport are still not totally back to normal now.
Yeah, Tricia, not just yet. Masks are still required all over the airport property as well as onboard aircraft. Terminal 3 is open, but there's no flights going out of it because international travel remains heavily restricted. Take a live look here at baggage claim at Terminal 1. Domestic travel, a much different story, much busier. So much so, there's plenty of positions open to process passengers.
The barrage of luggage, bags, and people are piling up as passenger traffic takes off at McCarran.
You know, it's gotten busier and busier here as the months have gone by here at McCarran. From February to April, we've seen just a large increase. February, we served 1.5 million passengers.
In April, almost double, 2.9 million passengers through McCarran. A much different story compared to a year ago, with stunning declines as Las Vegas shut down to weather the pandemic storm. Still, some traffic remains down, especially convention passengers and international travelers. As a result, Terminal 3 is not business as usual.
There are no flights occurring at T3 currently. Some airlines operate ticketing and baggage claim out of T3, so the building itself is open. But the E-concourse and the E-gates that normally would serve as international flights are not being utilized.
Joe Rachel with McCarran Airport tells me the consolidation of operations for now is beneficial for the airport and passengers.
With the current volume that we have, we're able to utilize the other gates, and that helps us with cost containment, with keeping resources towards those gates where people are traveling, But we're continuing to monitor that situation, and we're ready for it to. We'll be ready to reopen it when it's time.
The boost in domestic business means parts of the airport travel process are working to keep up. The Transportation Security Administration is looking to fill a number of full-time and part-time security screening officers. There's a $500 bonus just to start and another $500 after 1 year of service with the TSA.
And we have worked closely together, TSA and the airport, to make sure we are ready to receive whoever wants to come to Las Vegas. Our doors are open, we can handle it, and we look forward to that.
Joe says pack your patience as summer travel really takes off and expect longer lines during peak times, especially on the weekends.
And remember, a lot of people haven't traveled in a while, so it's taking longer to get through security. It's recommended you arrive at least 2 hours before a scheduled flight departure. Reporting live, Joe Bartels, 13 Action News.
Joe, thank you. And brand new technology should make checking in for your flight safer and quicker. Some of the upgrades include automated screen lanes. Now, these will allow for faster and more convenient, effective, and efficient checking of the bags. There's also a new sanitation system for bins, as well as a body scanner that will screen travelers for any security threats. All of this was unveiled on Monday.
School is over. College grads are taking the necessary steps towards the next chapter in life. Mostly that means finding a job. 13 Action News anchor Trisha Keene spoke with a local expert, and the good news is the jobs are out there.
I think there's definitely jobs out there.
Sonia Pedowick is CEO and founder of the job recruiting firm Torian Consulting. She says now is a great time to be looking for a job, but it might be a little different than you expected.
I think the challenge is that you go into school 4 years ago, and today the job market looks insanely different. So your expectations might have to just be realigned to the opportunities that are in the market.
Daniel Hernandez says it's definitely changed.
I feel like they want more access online. I think there's more steps to kind of get yourself into the interview room now.
The marketing student just graduated from UNLV and says he's been working to update his online information.
A lot of jobs are looking for your LinkedIn pages now. I finally graduated. I was realized how much I neglected that LinkedIn page, and I was I had to clean that up.
Sonia can attest to that. While recently hiring for her own firm, she used the professional network to communicate with potential candidates.
So people applied for a job, and then I just shot them a note back through the LinkedIn recruiter tool and said, hey, I'm interested in talking to you. Do you mind answering a few questions via this video?
But just like your resume, be sure your LinkedIn information is current. Update your skills, responsibilities at previous jobs, and your accomplishments. Sonia says it's also important to connect with potential employers and engage in conversation.
It's great to walk into an interview and say, oh my gosh, I read your last post about XYZ, and be able to have a very, intelligent conversation.
Bottom line, any edge you can gain over other job candidates is key. Sonia says that's because many hiring managers and recruiters scan over most resumes in less than 10 seconds.
A lot of times we are really screening initially for where they are in the country, what type of jobs that they've had, their longevity, and if there's some excitement there, we'll engage in a conversation.
When you do get a chance to speak with an employer, Sonia says it's important to articulate your value. Use the acronym SAM or SAM. What can you save, achieve, or make for the company? As for Daniel, he's eager to show what he can do. His words of advice for other job hunters: don't be afraid to put yourself out there.
Even if there's something that you feel like you're not qualified for, try to go for it anyways. Even if you get an interview, if you don't land the job in an interview, you still learn stuff, you still build your confidence up.
For 13 Action News, I'm Trisha Keene. Welcome back to the Rebound Las Vegas. For more details on any of the stories that you're watching today, visit our website, ktnv.com/rebound.
In-person celebrations took a hit last year as many events canceled due to COVID, but with more people getting vaccinated, large gatherings are coming back. The Center of Southern Nevada is kicking the month off with their annual prom for LGBTQ youth and their allies. It's the first in-person pride celebration they've had in a while. And as we continue to bridge the divide, 13 Action News reporter Alicia Patillo is reporting live at the center, shares the importance behind this event. Alicia.
Good morning, Dave. Well, Over the Rainbow and Under the Stars is this year's prom theme here at the center. Setup is already underway. That's Jim over there. He's getting ready for Saturday's event. I want to bring in Ashante. She's the Youth Resource Specialist here at the center. Good morning. Thank you so much for joining us on Good Morning Las Vegas.
Good morning. We're so glad that y'all wanted to come.
So tell us a little bit about the youth prom. What is it all about? You do it every year, but this year it's during Pride Month.
Yes, so we do it every year. Our youth prom is just a moment for our LGBTQ youth throughout Las Vegas Valley to have some fun, celebrate one another, and especially after the year that our youth just had being impacted by COVID, we know it disproportionately affected our LGBTQ youth. And so this is just a moment of levity where they can be fun, celebrate themselves, and during Pride, it's the best time to be as authentic as they can be.
I love that. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. And it's a free event, right? And it's Saturday, and what time from 7 to 10, correct?
Yes, 7 to 10 p.m. on Saturday with 3 local performers. We have Beverly Chills, Tana Marie, Saucy Downs, and a drag king, Toonie T.
I love that. And let's talk about, it was a difficult year for all of us, right? Last year. But mental health and mental health awareness is so important for our youth. So what message do you have for parents that may be watching that can encourage their children and just be open and love themselves? We have it on the mirror, love yourself.
Yes, we have it on our mirror. So the message that I'd love to give to parents and caregivers who have LGBT youth is to just love their child and take care of them. They are the people that they're around the most often, and that can have the greatest impact on their development and growth. And when you're around in a positive environment, it allows our youth to flourish as they should.
I love that. Really quick, let's talk about this room that we're in. What is this room?
So this is our Switch clothing closet. It is a room that was originally designed for our trans, gender nonconforming, and non-binary switch as a way to switch out their wardrobe and get clothes that are authentic to themselves. And now it's open to the public. It's a great way for people to get amazing items for free. And if anyone needs some clothing for prom, we have lots of options available before the big day.
All right, we're wrapping, but I have to show you all our Pride gear. I have my mask, show your hair, and then Jim, show your shoes because they're awesome. We are all Pride decked out. We are celebrating Pride in a big way here at Channel 13 and here at the center. So we're going to make sure to put all this information on our website at ktnv.com. Alicia Patillo, 13 Action News.
Thanks, Alicia. And join us all month for stories on the LGBTQ community. And if you miss any of them, just head to ktnv.com/Vegas Pride 2021.
Welcome back to the Rebound Las Vegas. For more details on any of the stories that you're watching today, visit our website, ktnv.com/rebound.
Marking the first large-scale convention to return to the Las Vegas area since the pandemic began. 13 Action News reporter Sean Delancey joining us live from the brand new West Hall expansion there with a look ahead at the historic return of convention business to the city. Sean?
Yeah, Dave, if conventions are, or rather if the Strip is the heart of our state's economy, then conventions are the blood that flows through keeping Las Vegas and Nevada alive. So this is a big deal for more than one reason. This is the first large-scale convention to take advantage of the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority's nearly $1 billion center expansion in the West Hall. The convention center finally gets to legitimately claim it is on the Las Vegas Strip with the opening of the West Hall where the Riviera used to stand. It's also the first large convention that gets to take advantage of the Tesla-based boring tunnels, moving people back and forth across the 1.4 million square foot space. Hundreds of businesses around the construction industry are slated to fill these halls, and that means an infusion of spending in Las Vegas from people around the country. Organizers in Forma Markets say that even with capacity at 100% now, they have not forgotten about COVID safety. There will be an increased air circulation inside, masks available, no contact registration, crowd density standards, temperature screenings, and more. Organizers and county officials plan to kick everything off with a ceremony at noon today, and one huge draw for people that is coming soon is the the Spec Mix Bricklayer 500. And we're going to be talking with some of the organizers of this huge competition right here at the competition grounds coming up in a half an hour. But for now, Sean Delancey, 13 Action News.
All right, Sean. The pandemic changed the way so many companies do business. The owner of a Las Vegas salon says she wasn't going to sit around, though, and wait for things to get better. As 13 Action News anchor Trisha Keene shows you, that's when this entrepreneur decided to try something new, and it paid off.
We do here hair, nails, massages. We do have 3 estheticians, including myself. And we do have makeup station as well, where we do customized makeup services.
Katya Simonenko is the owner of Pearl Skin Studio on West Sahara in Fort Apache. A brief conversation is all it takes to see how passionate she is about skincare.
Acne, dryness, oiliness, because those are dysfunctions of the skin, and we teaching people what to do to improve the functions of the skin.
But things changed last March when the pandemic forced her to close her salon.
It was my birthday and I had to close the doors. And imagine, this is my baby. It was like, oh my gosh, what do I do?
Katya knew her business might never be the same. As an esthetician, she decided to take time to sharpen her skills.
I developed new skills, new personal skills, and how to reconnect with clients better, how to provide better customer service.
She wasn't going to allow a closed-up shop to stop her from sharing her skincare knowledge with others. So she started contacting her clients by phone and even Zoom.
Basically, we were communicating constantly with them, reaching out to them. I realized that personal connection is very important.
Even while staying home, she says people wanted any helpful tips they could get.
We didn't know what's going to happen. We didn't know if we ever going to be open, but it was very important for me to be there for my clients.
Now that Pearl Skin Studio is back open, Katya says she's reaping the benefits of her efforts.
I've never had better business. After we reopened, this job for me is so fulfilling. I have a purpose to educate people, to help people with their skin.
Katya says she owes her success to her loyal clients and to this town.
Vegas is truly my home and my family's home. I love it. This is where I started my business, and I cannot even imagine leaving Vegas ever.
For 13 Action News, I'm Trisha Keene. Welcome back to the Rebound Las Vegas. For more details on any of the stories that you're watching today, visit our website, ktnv.com/rebound.
As if COVID wasn't bad enough, computer hackings and deep freezes hampered a rebound in the supply chain.
So this summer we'll pay more for our gas. Chicken wings and sausages and bacon.
Washington University professor Panos Kouvelis is an expert at supply chain management. He says many of these shortages will be short-lived.
Because I think we understand where the shortage is coming from, and I don't think that the reasons that caused it in the first place are going to persist.
The short-term shortages, the result of the Texas deep freeze and recent cyber attacks. None are expected to last through the summer. There's a chicken wing and sausage shortage, but that's due to increase in demand.
There are only 4 or 5 companies that drive the whole industry. There's not a lot of capacity. So you want to be outside, you want to grill and barbecue, and everybody enjoys it a little more.
And speaking of getting out more, expect to pay dearly for that vacation. Rental cars are still incredibly hard to come by. Some customers are paying hundreds of dollars a day.
Because the car manufacturers, definitely, if they start producing cars, they're not going to make the cars for rental companies, because that's not the high margins for them.
That shortage is predicted to last past the summer, potentially a year, thanks to a chip shortage. Kouvelis says chip manufacturers had plenty of inventory back in March of 2020, but cars weren't selling, so automakers lowered their chip orders.
Computers and the consumer electronics were selling very well during the pandemic, so they absorbed most of the capacity of the chip manufacturers.
Looking for new appliances or furniture? How does 6 months sound?
You will wait for a long time. It has nothing to do with making the appliance, it's getting the appliance from China to you.
And don't even think of remodeling right now. Lumber mills are dealing with labor issues and capacity constraints. In 2019, an 8-foot 2x4 would run you about $3. Now, you'll pay $8.25. But what about toilet paper, dog food, diapers? They all have made recent lists. Kuvelis blames social media for those.
We're freaking out and we're not making it any easier. The advice to everyone is stop hoarding.
Kuvelis expects supply to be back to normal by 2022. However, he warns about any small disruption or virus surge. His advice, prepare yourself for what could be coming down the shortage supply train tracks. Right now, we're on course, but it doesn't take much for a derailment.
We got to be a little patient and not panic. The hoarding is not going to help anyone. And finally, all of us are going to pay a lot more in terms of prices if we don't behave.
I'm Chris Conti.
Thanks for watching the Rebound Las Vegas on your favorite streaming device. If you missed any part of this week's program, just hit the back button on your remote and scroll down until you see the Rebound. And you'll find every segment we aired in this episode. Stay tuned for more from 13 Action News after the break. And check us out anytime here on KTMV Streaming. Las Vegas News on your time.